Hello, hello. I'm Theresa Gutierrez. I'm the owner and founder of 11th Hour Shaman, and I'm here with another dream message. Some call it the Dream Lodge, some call it Dream Time. Either way, I had this dream on March 13th. It was an answer to my prayers. I woke up at 2:22 in the morning and I couldn't go back to sleep. I had to write it down, and it's taken me this long. It's April 7th. So it took me this long to process, I guess, get it all down and find a way to write the story down, but it's been difficult. I felt like when I woke up from this dream, it felt so profound. And as I said, it was an answer to my prayers. And so I was filled with energy, clarity, and peace and joy. And previous to this, for 3 days, I had been in a panicked problem solving mode. And so to have this intense dream come to me to help me answer my prayers and make a decision from a really peaceful place, I was just so grateful. But the story, I was a witness to the story. So it felt like I was witnessing a legend, like a story of legend being shared for me like a movie. And it's just a short story, but it takes a little while to share it. So I'll try to explain as I go, but I am gonna read it. So just outside this is the dream. Just outside his home, a young man, well known to be of great power, he's approached by an old man of gray hair who is pretending to be good and helpful, but truthfully, he's mean, he's deceptive, and he is artfully manipulative. The old man weaves the lie and tells the young man he's needed on a quest, a journey far away from home. Secretly, the old man and some of the other people feared the young man's power and they were jealous, but mostly it was this fear of his power. When the young man and his power animal combined their powers, they were stronger than anyone they had ever known or heard of, and they were absolutely unstoppable. There was nothing this duo couldn't do. The young man was so good-hearted, good-natured. He would never use his power for evil, but he was feared by some and envied by others anyway. So the young man agrees to help on the quest. He was told he was needed, and so he agrees to go on the quest. But as they're getting ready to go, before they depart, the old man convinces the young man not to bring his power animal with him for fear the power animal will be hurt or killed on the quest, as they may face many dangers. The old man persuades the young man to protect his power animal by leaving it behind. The young man tethers his power animal, a golden eagle, to a small peg in the ground, not a big stake, but just a small wooden peg in the ground. He ties his golden eagle and tethers it. And, excuse me, he chooses also to hide it away so that it won't be hurt while he's gone. He doesn't want anyone to find it and hurt it while he's gone. As he's about to leave, he stops and he hesitates. The young man feels his heart and he feels his gut being tugged at him, and he's feeling like he should not be leaving his power animal behind. But then the young man lies to himself and he tells himself to ignore his feelings and instead he tells himself that what he's doing is the right thing to protect his power animal, and so he's going to tether it and leave it behind. The old man, the young man, and a few of his younger friends, they left on a journey across the land. It was really far, and they got to where it was very dry, and there it was empty and dry for miles and miles and miles around in every direction. And at this point, the old man stops and he's assessing. He can see they're far enough away from the home, and they're far enough away across the land from the young man's power animal. So far, in fact, that he could now put his nefarious plans into action. The old man believed they were far enough away from the power animal that the power animal could never get to the young man in time to help him. So while the old man's contemplating that, I see the young man can feel something. He's got a sense about him, and he feels this desire, and he turns towards home, and he begins to call and whistle for his power animal to come to him. He knew his power animal could fly as fast as Great Spirit. But just then the young man was seized by the old man. He was wrestled to the ground. The young man's neck is bleeding. He's on the ground. The old man grabbed his wrists and tied his wrists to the dry hill. And the old man grabs a rock nearby. It's like a big river rock. And he is pressing it. I'm sorry, this side. He's pressing it against the young man's carotid artery on his left neck. Yes, carotid artery. That's the wording this dream gave me. And the old man then is planning to use his hand to press down on the young man's right carotid artery to squish his neck and completely stop the blood flow. So by squishing his neck on each side, and he doesn't want to do it just long enough for this young man to pass out. He's going to do this long enough to kill the young man because he's afraid of his power. So the friends are they're in a loose circle around, like a half circle around the young man, and he's on the ground kicking and fighting to break free. And all these young friends, their faces are full of concern. They're full of guilt, and they're really confused because they were not actually expecting this to happen. They're looking at one another with fear on their faces, and these young friends are all young men, and they're not knowing what to do, but they know for sure this attack is wrong and this should not be happening. And then I see that there's a woman on the other side of this circle, and she loves the young man, and she is screaming repeatedly and ceaselessly, no, 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 no. And her cries are filled with intense grief and hopelessness or helplessness. And she's absolutely terrified and horrified. And she just wants to stop this madness. She wants it to stop. She wants him to be okay. And I could feel all of her feelings. And she can't actually stop what is happening in front of her. And so at this point, just before the young man is about to die, the friends get a conscience, like their guilt and concern have finally up leveled to help them make their decision. And they did decide. They're just about to jump on the old man to knock him off of the young man, and they're gonna save him. But they hadn't yet when I woke up. So I wake up hearing the young woman and seeing and knowing these men had made a decision to save the young man. But I wake up hearing her screaming, no, no, no. And I can feel everything that she was feeling. And that's when I woke up. So, believe it or not, it sounds like not the greatest ending or feelings somebody would want to wake up with, but this actually, I knew this dream was an answer to my prayers. And this dream showed me exactly what I needed to do. And it gave me this feeling of peace, of clarity, of joy. I was just so grateful to have such a powerful, clear answer to the thing I was freaking out about for 3 days just before this. So let's see here. I've got some notes to talk about. Um, Questions from symbolism from the dream that I think could be useful for all of us is, have you considered going against your intuition, your heart, or your gut feeling in regards to your quest, your journey, your life's purpose? Have you tethered your power animal down and hidden it away? Are you afraid of being hurt in some way? Are you afraid if you were really you, if you brought your intuitive, authentic self with you out into the world, are you afraid that you're going to get hurt in some way? Have you embarked on a journey or quest that's based on a lie? So, in my life, the way that this quest based in a lie answered a prayer for me is that I feel like the whole world, in many ways, is kind of built on a foundation of a lie. Like if you do this, you'll be safe and secure, kind of stuff. And that just didn't feel true to me. But sometimes we're told those types of things are true, or those types of things are the responsible thing or the right thing, when really our entire body, our entire intuition is saying, no, that's not true. And that's an important question for us to all ask ourselves when making any decision in life, especially big ones. Have you felt a sense of time pressure and feeling like your power, your prayers, or your goals can't be reached or answered in time? I feel like even that isn't true. There's something that we humans do with this concept of time and the perspective we bring to a space that we think that it's true, but it isn't necessarily true. So it's important for us to start expanding our perspective and really owning the truth that our power, our prayers, and our goals can be answered and can be reached in time. Have you blocked the flow of life force energy between your heart and your head? To me, this has a lot to do with right brain versus left brain logic, but it's also very much our intuitive knowing heart is getting a signal up to the brain. And I like to call this heart-brain coherence as well, just as Heart Math Institute or Dr. Joe Dispenza. But sometimes we try to make decisions from our heads instead of our hearts. And to me, that's the same as locking a power animal away. So although I didn't fully see the power animal, and it could be any power animal, especially when we put ourselves into the young man's position, right? To liken our own lives and journeys unto his. I know I felt or heard the phrase golden eagle, and I saw part of it in its golden hue. It was a smaller animal, but I heard and felt golden eagle. And I've never dreamt of a golden eagle before. And what I did know in this dream is that it also could fly. And as the phrase was given in the dream, it could fly as fast as Great Spirit. There was just no doubt in the power they had that they belonged to each other. And nothing really could keep them apart. And I think that was the symbol of such a tiny tether. Um, the golden eagle is really a powerful and sacred, profound symbol, and it's revered in many countries across the world in many eras of time. The Norse related the golden eagle to Odin, and the Native Americans revered the golden eagle as well. And although I don't feel that the golden eagle is my personal power animal, I'm starting to wonder if it's, another one of my helpers or messengers. And we'll talk about this some more. I wrote some other things down about it because I don't think it really matters what your power animal is in relation to the dream symbol of, are you leaving your power animal behind when you go out into the world and live your life? When you have decisions to make, are you leaving your power animal out of the equation? It's important to just assess what's going on there and how's that working out for us, right? I believe that all of us do have our inner masculine and inner feminine, the yin yang, whatever. And being that in this dream, this was a young man, that to me represents the inner masculine. So with that, the masculine energy to me represents the one that does things, the doer, the action taker, the warrior, the firefighter, the advocate, right? This Mars energy. And a good question might be to ask, has your masculine energy left his power animal behind? And how's that working out? How's that making things show up for you in your life or not? And as a symbol, the golden eagle is the one that flies closest to Creator, the one that has this representation of having a special connection to God, to Great Spirit. And my question is, has this part of us, has this power that we have to fly close to the Creator, to feel connection to the Creator, has this power been removed from our actions? The eagle brings a higher perspective and messages from God's source. So, has your journey left this higher knowing behind? Are you taking the time to receive messages from the golden eagle to gain that higher perspective over the journey, over your life and your soul's purpose? So these are questions I'm contemplating and answering for myself. And this dream helped me make a decision that made me feel so relieved, super clear, confident, full of joy. And I was at total peace. So I don't know if it can bring that for you today. In hearing this message, I found it so surprising that something so intense could bring me an answer and clarity and peace so easily. And because I received that, I was filled with gratitude and joy. So it's like all of these positive feelings just keep creating more positive feelings. So I just had to share that with you. If you need support from a shamanic practitioner, I do one-on-one sessions, and I do those in person and I do them remotely. I live in Gilbert, Arizona. And I incorporate shamanic journeying and all of my spirit team. It's a big one. We all have a big team, whether we're aware of it or not. But we've got our angels, we have our animal guides, our power animals, and we have our elevated ancestors. We have nature spirits like herbs and trees and the sweet grasses. We have so much spiritually available to us to support us from every angle. And so I call on those when I give sessions to my people. And you can call on those every single day of your life to guide you, to help you make decisions that support your well-being and your soul's purpose. One of the other things I do is I read hands. Your fingerprints and lines reveal your life's purpose, your life goal, and your life lesson. There's lines in the hands that indicate gift markers. There's possibly 18 gift markers. Some people will have a few, some people will have like 12 to 14. And that creates a lot of internal pressure to do more with your life, to experience more from living your life. And that's completely normal. But if you need support with that, I'm here for you. All you have to do is email me, Theresa at 11thhourshaman.com. You can have a free consultation to see about working with me one-to-one. And I'm here for you if you need guidance, if you need energy healing, shamanic practitioner stuff. There's no end to what we can do for your benefit. Have a beautiful day. Bye.